everything you thought you knew about intelligence is, well, wrong? What if the very idea of a mind is just exploding all around us right now? It's a pretty wild idea, and it's at the very heart of Jose Hernandez Araulo's book, and that's exactly what we're going to break down today.
I mean, just look at the world we're in now. It's not just humans and animals anymore. We've got cyborg rats. Yeah, rats with their brains literally wired to computers.
Then you've got AI artists, churning out work that makes you question what creativity even is anymore.
And what about robot swarms? These things are showing off this incredible collective intelligence, all from just a few simple rules.
And then there's us, enhanced humans. I mean, think about it. Every time you use your phone to remember a number or find your way, you're basically extending your own mind. The lines are they're blurring, faster than we can even keep up.
So how in the world are we supposed to make sense of all this? How do you even begin to measure intelligence when you're trying to compare, say, a bacterium to a chess grandmaster to a self-driving car? It's a huge problem.
The way the book puts it is just perfect. We are living through a brand new Cambrian explosion. But this time, it's not an explosion of life, it's an explosion of minds.
But here's the thing. The tools we've been using to measure intelligence, they're completely broken. Our old yardsticks, they were designed for a much simpler world, and frankly, they just don't cut it anymore.
Right now, we're stuck evaluating intelligence in these three totally separate silos. You know, for humans, we've got our IQ tests. For animals, we've got these really specific cognition tests for each species. And for AI, we use these super narrow benchmarks like the Turing test. The problem is, these fields don't even talk to each other. They're speaking completely different languages, which makes finding one single, universal measure pretty much impossible.
So if our old maps of the mind are totally wrong, does that mean we need to redraw the whole world?
This is where the book proposes something, well, revolutionary. A whole new way of thinking, a new science for measuring all minds. And it's all built on two really big, key ideas.
Okay, idea number one. We have to completely expand our definition of what we're even studying. So forget thinking about humans, animals, and machines as separate things. We need to start thinking in terms of what the book calls the machine kingdom. This basically includes any system, and I mean any system, that takes in information and produces some kind of output.
And when you look at it this way, Homo sapiens, we're just a tiny little sliver of the animal kingdom. And the animal kingdom, that's just one branch of all possible living things. And all of that is tucked inside this enormous machine kingdom. It's a huge shift in perspective. Suddenly, we're just one type of machine and a whole universe of possibilities. So, if we're going to explore this massive new kingdom of minds, we're going to need a new tool, right? And that's the second big idea. Universal psychometrics. Think of it as a single, unified framework to measure the abilities of literally everything, from an ant to an AI algorithm.
But wait a second. How could a universal ruler like that even work? I mean, what could you possibly base it on, if not, human experience?
Well, the answer is pretty elegant, actually. Pure mathematics. The foundation for this whole thing is something called algorithmic information theory, or AIT. Here's a simple way to think about it. Instead of asking, how smart is this thing, we ask a different question. What's the simplest possible computer program you could write that perfectly describes its behavior? See? This gives us a totally objective yardstick that just doesn't care if you're built from DNA or from silicon.
You know, this whole quest for a universal way to measure the mind, it's not new at all. People have been trying for centuries. You have guys like Raman Lull back in the 13th century with his Ars Magna, a brilliant early attempt, really. But of course, the field took some serious wrong turns, too. I'm looking at you, phrenology. The hope is that this new approach, because it's based on the universal language of computation, might be the one to finally get it right.
Okay, this is all fascinating theory, but why does any of it actually matter? Well, because the ability to measure any mind anywhere has some absolutely staggering implications for our future.
Think about it. If we had a truly universal ruler, could we measure the IQ of an entire corporation or a city? What about the collective intelligence of a social network? And let's take it a step further. Could an AI actually be granted personhood based on its measured cognitive abilities? I mean, our legal systems, our ethical frameworks, they are so not ready to answer that question. And then there's the biggest challenge of all. If, or maybe when, we create an intelligence that is far, far beyond our own, how would we even evaluate it? How would we understand it?
Suddenly having a universal framework isn't just some cool academic exercise. It could be absolutely essential for our own survival.
At the end of the day, this project to measure all minds is really a project of discovery. It's like we're trying to build a new kind of telescope, but instead of looking out at the stars, it looks at minds. And if we succeed, if we build a telescope that can truly see all minds, what do we need to be prepared to see looking back?
Please do subscribe.